Joe Pugh from Pep Talk Boys, and once again joined today by the man himself, Mr. Joe Gallagher. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. And today we're in Birmingham for the press conference for Zach Parker versus Marcus Morrison. Obviously training Marcus Morrison. How do you think it went today, and how's training camp been with Marcus?
Yeah, no, listen, we didn't have the 10-12 weeks camp that we would have liked, but Marcus is in a good place, sparring's gone well, and we're here today. Listen, we had the presser there, and I wouldn't say I spat my dummy out, but I was just sat there listening, and the people were going on about, Marcus, he hasn't been stopped. It's like, you got to win a fight first, never mind the stoppage, and Zach Parker's got 15 wins out of 21, but Marcus is 16 out of 24, so he carries just as much power as Zach Parker does, and I just felt it was just getting a bit too one-sided, and for a fighter getting ready, listening to that, it's like psychologically, like, hang on a minute, you need levelling this up a little bit. We're not turning up to jump on the canvas, do you know what I mean? We're here to win the fight, and we'll see what happens Saturday night.
Yeah, no, a lot's been made about the weight. Obviously, Zach Parker, a natural super middleweight. Marcus Morrison has fought at middleweight for most of his career. What do you make of that?
Listen, Zach can be whatever. Marcus Morrison for years, the gymnasium sparring, Callum Smith, Jose Burton, Callum Johnson, all bigger kids, and when you're in the gymnasium sparring, they at the times were around 13 stone, 13 and a half stone. So, listen, size doesn't win fights, skill and power does.
And do you believe that he can outskill Zach Parker on Saturday night?
Skill set wise, Zach Parker is very good, orthodox southpaw, has everything that you want in a fighter to go on, but there is gaps in it, just like there is in Caleb Plant's defence against Canelo. And it's can we take advantage of them moments, of them gaps, and get off what we need to get off. Zach's going to make Marcus think for every second of every round. He's switching feet from orthodox to southpaw. But Marcus, listen, we've done our homework, and we'll be prepared. I was just a little bit disappointed. There was a little bit of disrespect shown to Marcus Morrison on that stage today, and whether it was right or wrong, but I just thought, no, I'm not listening to this no more. Stop. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, what did you think was right or wrong?
I just thought you needed to get your point across, and
did you think it was getting too one-sided? That kept saying, don't sit on the fence.
No, it's that way a lot of the time, because Zach Parker is obviously the home fighter, but it's your job obviously to make your fighters voice heard and put your point across.
No problem.
So yeah, I think you.
Good. You stay on that fence, sure.
Yeah. I got getting splinters. Another bit of good news for you. Another one of your fighters, Natasha Jonas, today. She's signed a multi-fight deal with a boxer.
Yeah.
She did sign a multi-fight deal with Matchroom. Just what happened there? Obviously, we know there was a mishap between you and Eddie, but now she's signed with a boxer.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with me and Eddie, it's to do with Eddie and Natasha. Eddie likes to #blame Joe for everything at the moment, and like I said before, I'm surprised I didn't get blamed for Joshua losing to Usyk, but that's just how it is. Eddie's has a lot of stress on his shoulders at the moment, under huge pressure to deliver big fights, and the game change motto we came out with seems to be a bit of a curse with him at the moment. But listen, people want to believe what they believe. Listen, Natasha Jonas, it's her story. One day she'll tell it, and that's it. But I'm delighted for her. She's out boxing again. She's on Sky Sports, where her last 2 world title fights were, and she signed with a boxer. And the main thing is to get her out and active. As you've seen with her last fight with Katie Taylor, it stole the show on the Chisora Parker, and everyone said there should be a rematch, but that hasn't happened. So. But yet the Chisora Parker one is, but there you go anyway.
I won't sit on the fence for this one. I think Natasha Jonas is making a really good move going over to boxing, because just the depth of female talent over there. Like, they've signed the likes of Marshall, Pressure Shields. I know that's not in her weight division, but it just shows their intentions with female boxing, and I think that's great.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of chess moves being made behind the scenes. Well, they're not behind the scenes now, it's quite transparent. Eddie's signing up all the super featherweights, all the lightweights, all the light welters, and just trying to freeze Natasha Jonas out of a title shot. But an opportunity will present itself, and Natasha will become a world champion.
Fantastic. And elsewhere in the gym, obviously, it's thriving. I was just talking to Marcus Morrison about it. You've got the likes of Charlie Edwards now. Any news when he's going to be out next?
Yeah, I think Charlie's going to be out before the end of the year. I know the date, but I'm not going to say. I think there's got to be an announcement on that. But yeah, Charlie's in the gym. Paul Butler's in the gym. Both got fights before the end of the year. Everyone in the gym. Callum Thompson's got to be out before the end of the year. We're hoping Callum Johnson's out before the end of the year as well again. Frank's done a good job, brought him back, got 2 fights. He's promised me he's got to get him a fight before the end of the year again, so that's 3 fights for him. I'm just trying to think. Well, it's Marcus, Callum Johnson, Jose Burton's fighting for the British title against Dan Aziz coming up. So that's thingy, yeah, and we've got some good young prospects that are in the gymnasium as well, ready to turn over.
Brilliant. And on Saturday, obviously, Craig Richards made he's come back fight after the Bivol loss, and Callum Johnson was put forward his name again. Would you like to see that fight?
Yeah, listen, you're Callum Johnson.
Yeah,
I just phone up and you go, yeah, where, when, and that's how it is. There's no doubt in Callum Johnson. That's just a good. If he's got to just say yes to B to B, you don't think he's got it. So there you go.
Do you think it could be made though?
Of course it could do. Yeah. I mean, we'll just have to sit and wait and let the people, like anything, everyone will fight. But when you're at that stage of the career and everything else, it's all about money. Everyone's got to be paid well for the good fight, and some people I can offer you a £5 to buy your car. Doesn't mean you've got to take it, does it? And some promoters these days are offering £5s for fights when they're worth a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. And Marcus Morrison got a chance to not only get a great win under his name, get that ranking with the WBO, and obviously Canelo fighting for it this weekend. An opponent you've come up against in the corner before, Canelo. What do you make of that fight?
Canelo and Plant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. I think Canelo, being Canelo, you don't realise how good he is until you're up against him. But Plant's a very good fighter, good movement, good sharp puncher. It's how he deals with Caleb Plant's punches. Like you see him with Billy Joe, as soon as Canelo starts landing, it's a whole different story. And if he can come through that storm, I likened it. I was talking in the gym this week to people like that, Leonard Hagler. No one expected Leonard to stand up to Hagler for 12 rounds. If Plant can fiddle his way through them tough moments and see the bell out, it'd be interesting to see what the scorecards look like. But my heart rules. That's my heart. My head thinks like Canelo, like everyone's saying, stoppage.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thank you very much for speaking to me today, Joe Gallagher. Anything else you'd like to mention?
No, that's it.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers, thank you.